Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, A.J. Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaign, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. What's happening?
What's up? What's up?
Hi, Westchester.
March 1st, Sunday, and you here with Black Westchester magazine, People Before Politics, Sunday Rundown. And you can check us live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, and LinkedIn. And won't be live on Rumble. We just post it later.
Rumble, young man, Rumble.
Yep, Rumble, young man, Rumble. So we are over Black History Month. AJ, you did a great thing out there in Long Island for Black History.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Yes, it was amazing. So I wrote a story about my journey back to the stage at the age 60. And the co-founder of the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame called me. He was like, "Yo, why don't you come up here and do a presentation? Bring your books and your T-shirts. You can sell them too." So I was like, I love for any opportunity to run my mouth, but you told me to bring my stuff and I could sell it. I'm always trying to sell my merch. So it was great conversation, and I appreciated being there to end Black history, and it was great seeing some good people. Got to share with some people that normally probably weren't as familiar with the group, because they had the Everybody Loves Raymond event there, because he's from Long Island, and they had the set. There's one room they have the whole set from the TV show, because he's from Long Island. The TV show was in Long Island, so there was people there for that. But they came into my room. Some older people, older white people, look like they could be my mama. It was in there listening to everything. Like, oh man, that's good. That's good. I'm sure they were not familiar with the record, but so it was a mixed crowd, and it was great. So,
No, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm just honored. Yeah, I'm honored that was honored to be asked to be there, and hopefully. Keep putting it out there. That was one step closer to the group actually being inducted in the Hall of Fame.
So how does that process work?
Well, it's the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. So it's not hip hop. It's not Black music.
Right.
So, people like Pat Benatar and all of them were well ahead of me, and then they include Queen, so the Fat Boys. And so there's a long list of artists. We're on the list, but it's just a matter of then they have to, their board has to pick who they're gonna pick. So,
okay,
me. So I went on the website and I was like, what is the criteria to be inducted? and the 4 pillars of what you have to. And I made sure I mentioned all 4 of those pillars in my presentation, making the case, even without saying I was making the case, making the case why we should be inducted.
Right.
So
right.
I really don't know. I mean, it's in God's hands. I plant the seeds, see what they grow. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Andrew Wang, definitely out there. He had a great presentation yesterday too. And I met some other people that I met through him when I was in Columbia University last week. For their program. A couple of them people were there, or they were representing. There's one dude came up. He was like, "Yo, I know you, dude. I ain't seen this dude, and I've been out of school since '84. Left Central Islip '81. So he's like, yo, and he's trying to remember where we know each other. He looked real familiar. I looked real familiar. Everybody knew him that was there, but I didn't remember. But he was from one of those groups that inspired me. You know, we had groups out there like Cold Crush, but out there, and he was one of them groups in Midnight Express. So that was very inspirational biz too. So he was one of them cats, and he was there. He came through.
Right, that's dope. Lonez, what's happening, Lonez?
Oh, let me just say, wait. I sent the information. You know, Pete from what's that group Search was in? Third Base is very involved in the hip hop museum. So, you know, I sent all of this to him, and you know, he liked it and was real responsive. So I'm planting a whole lot of seeds here. You know what I'm saying? Like we should be in the hip hop museum or Hall of Fame thing too. So yeah.
No. That's dope.
This is the season to get the soil ready, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
That's all I'm doing is planting. I'm planting a whole bunch of seeds, a whole bunch of seeds, and that's what I was telling my partner, man. You sometimes you just got to run through and plant the seeds, and then you know they ain't all gonna grow. You know what I mean? But you know, you got to plant them. So a lot of things what I'm doing now is planting them seeds.
No, that's dope. That's dope. Lonez, what's up with you? What's happening?
Well, you know, I'm all around and everywhere.
I be seeing you in the streets.
Where were y'all at together?
That was
he was at the Trailblazer event.
Oh, because I saw Lonez sent me a picture of you and your wife. And first I thought it was Dame. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I saw it came from Lonez. Wait, where were y'all at?
Like, yeah. We was at the African American Advisory Board Trailblazer Award. Hosted by the one and only the HNNIC himself, Ken Jenkins. Yep.
Black Godfather.
Yep. Hey, everybody, shout out to the HNIC of Westchester County. Jenkins.
He gonna hate that you use that expression, but
that's what, when he came on the show, I was gonna say, and we gotta introduce the HNIC of Westchester.
I was calling him the Black Godfather when he was deputy.
Godfather.
He hated that too. He was laughing.
It was. I mean, it was nice, man. It was a nice event. It was a nice event. It was good. You know, nice event. And I think they're doing another event, and it's good that the African American Advisory Board is doing their thing. They're having another. They're having an asthma event. I didn't get a chance to actually put it together for the show, but we'll have time because it's March 23rd at the Greenberg Library, Greenberg Public Library. Okay. They're having an asthma forum, so we'll definitely talk about that, and I'll get the promotion up.
And I'm definitely going to attend because the other one it was a storm and we couldn't attend.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So Damon, I spent the other day with Bob at the Westchester Archives, and while I didn't get to look through them yet, I will be back. They have all of the records and the meetings of all the African American advisories going back to O'Rourke.
Oh, really?
They have all the county records. They have everything there. So I was like, yo, what I gotta do is just make an appointment, come through and see. So I'm gonna go through. They're gonna pull out all the files, all the things on the African American Advisory Board going back to O'Rourke, like 92 or something. And they're gonna spread it out and let me just look at them and go through.
Yeah, man. You know, a lot of things happening, bro. You know, we gotta change the directory of what we're talking about. Like, I was very disappointed this month to see all these Negroes talking about the Epstein files. And they didn't even know that the White House gave the King family the MLK files, and nobody was talking about it. Like, I don't care about no white perverts. I want to know what happened to MLK. I want to know what the FBI, what J. Edgar Hoover did. And it's really sad because the family's not even talking about it.
I was going to say, why isn't, I did hear something about that. You mentioned it, but I heard something about it. And then I think the family was asked, and I think they wanted to go through it first or something. Because I was like, why didn't they there has to be some revelations or some stuff that they learned or something that, why hasn't that been shared with the public? Like, why is it something? So, I mean, I give them maybe it's stuff they got to go through and they want to deal with what they got to deal with. And hopefully it will be, they'll do something to make it public. But I definitely.
How long it's going to be?
I can't put a.
Bernice King on Twitter said, "Oh, thank you, President Trump, for giving the family the files." Now
that's what I seen. That's what I saw.
Now release the Epstein files. I responded. I said, "No, nobody care about that white man. We want to know what happened to your father." That's what we want to know. That conversation should have happened this month, last month. Well, last month. Now it's the first. We were talking. We talking about pedophiles, but we don't want to talk about the pedophiles in our community. Mount Vernon. We got
a bunch of PDF files.
Mount Vernon per capita has more sex offenders than any other city in Westchester. Only thing you got to do is put that app on. Boop, 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 boop. I had 4 when I lived in Mount Vernon. I had 4 in my building, and I approached all 4 of them.
You did what?
I approached all 4 of them. And I was more in shape back then, so So cute.
Yo, like that. I ain't gonna talk about the incident, but let's just say somebody got under Damon's skin, and I thought there was gonna be a fight, and I thought he was gonna knock this older gentleman out, and I went to pull Damon, and I felt like I grabbed a tree trunk. It was his arm. Like dude, there was no moving. So then you ever see them cartoons? So I stepped back. I took another step back. I made that line, and I stood behind the line just in case he decided to swing. I wasn't even catching the word.
What did the police commissioner tell you? What did the police commissioner tell you?
Oh, the police commissioner was like, "Yo, he deserved to get knocked out. But I'm so glad that Damon didn't hit him because none of us wanted to attempt to put handcuffs on him." That's what the deputy police commissioner said. None of us wanted to attempt to put handcuffs on. He said, "Oh God, I'm just so glad he didn't hit me."
Yeah, but I mean, I really think, as far as social media, I really think we really wasted the Black History Month. Because it was too much about other things that really, at the end of the day, didn't have anything to do with us as a people. Even Carter G. Woodson, he's the creator. And
unofficially my uncle. I've been claiming him for years. He's not related.
Hey, listen, ain't no problem because he wrote
for years. That's my
he wrote Miseducation of the Negro.
Right.
You understand? And anybody, y'all could go on YouTube. You could go on Black Westchester. I did a whole piece on Carter G. Woodson and the miseducation of the Negro and how he felt that the educated Negro was bringing Black people to the wrong direction. And that's Carter G. Woodson. That is the originator of Black History Week. which we call Black History Month. And he was critical on the educated Negro. So all y'all educated Negroes, don't get mad at me. I didn't write it. Carter G. Woodson wrote it in The Miseducation of the Negro. And I think it was on full display this Black History Month because we were not talking about community building economics, family. We wasn't having the conversations we used to have 20 years ago, Black History Month. You know, it was more, to me, just ceremonial, you know, and if people think I'm wrong, it is what it is. You know, that's the way I felt with all the things that were going on in our communities. And we was talking about a freaky white man. You know,
but we don't ask the right questions, right? Because we possibly don't know the right questions to ask. And you know, I'll be doing homework for our shows. So you know I got a whole list of questions that we as the Black community or minority community or underserved communities should be asking, right? How much government procurement is going to Black-owned businesses? Number one. What percentage of municipal contracts are awarded locally? Number two. Are there dedicated capital funds for minority-owned enterprises? Is there land banking for community ownership? Are pension funds investing in Black asset managers? Because celebration without capital is symbolic. That's all I got to say.
No, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. AJ?
No, I was just saying bullseye, like if it was on social media, the bullseye logo, like the bullseye. You know, it's sad to say this, but it's not hard to get us off of paying attention to the stuff we should be paying attention to and not following the daily soap opera that they keep creating for us, you know, through the media or whatever for us to pay attention to. And we're not paying attention to the stuff we should be paying attention to. We fall victim in the tailpipe all the time. It's not new. We continue to fall for it. We sound like the dude, the corny cop from Beverly Hills Cop. I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe no more. And you fall for it again. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. I mean, real talk. So until we, so the important thing, Cynthia used to say something. Cynthia was the original female co-host of the show. Cynthia used to say something. She learned Black history from her father. She didn't learn it in school. She learned most of the Black history she knew from her father. We need to teach. The program I went to at Columbia was talking about how hip hop, and I second this, I learned more from Black history from records like KRS's You Must Learn than I ever did in all the public school years all the years I went to school. I didn't learn, you taught the traditional stuff. Rosa Parks didn't want to get up, and Harriet Tubman freed some slaves, and Martin Luther King was a dreamer. He had a dream. Like, basically, those are the things we're taught. Like, those are the things that just keep getting taught. There's so much more. And, you know, Damon says something that got us. We had Black Lives Matter. One of them groups coming after us. Black lives have to matter to Black people before they matter to anyone else. And until we are fighting for the things, we have to preserve our history. We have to teach our history. We used to have griots back in the days, griots, whatever you want to call them. They were the person in the community that taught the community's history they were in charge of carrying the history and teaching it verbally to the next generations. We don't do that. So when we walk around and the kids don't know our history and you be like, they don't know the past, well, they were supposed to learn it by themselves? Who was supposed to, they were supposed to osmosis? They were just supposed to figure it out? Like, You know what I'm saying? We're not, so we're failing our community. All of you who have podcasts, blogs, internet influencers, you have followings and stuff. People that get paid to write whatever they get paid to write. We're not even going to go there. you are all failing our community if you're not talking about these things. One of the reasons we started Black Westchester was to document the Black achievement, the Black life, to cover the Black experience in Westchester. That is why we started this. Now, we're in Westchester. We're not all over the place. Some of y'all in the other places got to do it in other places too. That's how our history is preserved. That is how our history, you got to stop waiting for the miseducation of the school system. I mean, to teach your kids this, and it's a sad thing that some parents can't teach it because they don't know it either.
So I just want to say, to me, right, I heard this quote maybe a few years ago: Black history is white history, and how we survived it is Black history.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I say that to say, if you're not teaching this in a home, you're not going to get it outside. You're not, even me, right? I do a lot of research on my identity, both sides of my family, so I can educate my kids, so I can educate my grandson. So you don't have to look outside for the information. You don't have to look outside to what we connected to. Because if I don't have the information for you, how do I know that you're getting the right information? Right? I know I said this several times before. White people don't know what it smells like on a Sunday morning and you get in your kitchen hot combed in the back. They don't know what burnt hair smell like on a Sunday morning. You waking up to that and some pancakes. They don't know what that smells like.
Denzel said that.
I know.
He said that when they asked him, when he said he wanted a Black producer or Black director, and they said, why? He said, the reason he used the example you said, because there's a certain thing that they don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? In telling our story, they can't tell our story like that. Like,
absolutely, at all. And if I don't sit down to actually understand and have a level of empathy and sympathy to kind of approach exactly Dak's hair, the blue one, the blue and the green, but the blue one kept it nice and smooth.
He said gospel music and Dak Harris.
But knowing these stories and knowing different things, right, cultivates your lens, right? Gives you a place when you might not be seen, gives you something to hold on to when you move through cultures, especially in New York.
And I spoke to a group of people a while back, and I was like, not only not teaching Black history hurts Black people, but young white kids who never learned this, and they only learn stuff like slavery, and they see things like roots and stuff, and that's the only really thing they know, and then, hip hop, and that's all they know. They grow up to be these leaders, they grow up to be these congressmen, they grow up to be these people, and they don't know the history either. You understand what I'm saying? And they have this misconception that, our history starts in slavery when they owned us. You know what I mean? Like that because the history is not taught. So everybody, here's something else that I have a problem with. When you talk about Black history or pro-Black stuff or the things that Black people have went in the past, and we are at this point where, when are we going to get over it? Or are we still talking about that? When you have stuff like 9/11, never forget. You know what I'm saying? They don't say that about the Holocaust. It's never forget. You don't say that about other groups of people and the stuff they went through. It was never forget, never again. Black history. Oh, y'all still talking about that? Slavery. Y'all still complaining about. Y'all still talking about that? You're still talking about civil rights. You couldn't sit on the bus. You still talking about that? You can sit anywhere you want on the bus now. You still talking about that?
Well, AJ, it's a scab though, right? Yeah. So when a scab is healing, it's healing on the inside. But what you do to it, you won't pick that scab, right? Because you like, oh, this is ugly. Let me just pick at it because I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the way it feels. Everybody can see it. So let me pick at it. So when people see the wound, now they care more because they see the open wound. But when it's healing, when a scab is getting hardened, you have to restrain yourself from picking it. But it's healing. And this is a part of the process. Yeah, and I just want to say one more point. I saw Django the other day, right? And at the end, before the German killed Leonardo DiCaprio, he was looking and remembering the slave that the dogs ate, right? And he was saying to him, like, you suck your dogs on this slave, this black man, and you named him after a author and a philosopher, and the person you named him after, you didn't even know he was black. So even in the movies, when we're learning things, right? Real things, real incidents that happen, right? We see how much miseducation is everywhere in every part of the system to keep us asleep, so to speak.
Damon had me watch the new Tyler Perry joint, Uncle Joe, and it deals with that Uncle Joe's college trip or whatever it was. And Uncle Joe, the character Uncle Joe, he basically was teaching his grandson, yo, y'all don't even know your history. Like, he was taking him on a trip throughout all the things that happened and stuff.
You watched it?
No, I watched it twice. Man, I watched it that day. I watched it that day.
Yo, Uncle Joe had him spend the night in the Lorraine Motel in the room that Martin Luther King had. And he didn't know. He was like, why is this old hotel? What's so old about it? And the lady was like, yo, you got to leave. You can stay, but you got to get out in the morning. It didn't dawn on me like what she was saying to him.
Right.
But until at the end, he was like, dude, you was at the Lorraine Motel. You slept.
But you know how he learned? You know how he learned? Joe took him to a whole house, and he couldn't believe that the girl was being trafficked, and he snuck her out. And they were hiding, and he went and got him some for the first time. And then she was going through these Polaroids because he had Joe made him take a Polaroid of everything, all these spots. He was like, man, you were here? This is the creek they threw Emmett Till into. He was like, wait, hold up. I can't believe you stayed here. You don't know what this is? This is a prostitute who had been sex trafficked is teaching him, but he couldn't hear it no other way. He had just got some for the first time. So now then she took him to the library and showed him the video with the hoses and the dogs and all that. So he was like, yo, I can't believe that. And that's how he learned. Right. That's what this whole thing was about. These kids, we sometimes
it's not the kids. We have to see.
No. Wait. But so we want and Tyler Perry's character didn't want his kid to grow up the way Medea and Uncle Joe taught him. So he got him in this white neighborhood, and there's the only black person in this white school. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they didn't walked all of the blackness out of him and everything. So he was saying all of the tropes. Oh, why don't we just get over it? Isn't that kind of racist? And like with his white friends. You know what I'm saying? And he had got accepted to Morehouse, and they were joking. Him and the white kids were joking. Oh, yeah, that's not a real school. Like, this, that. Maybe that was important back then, but, we don't need a black school now. And this, that. And Uncle Joe, Medea's brother, and he used to be a pimp back in the days. They showed all his pimp stuff back in the days, too. But, yo, he took him on the real America.
Right. But here's the thing. It was
like, yo, this dude's eyes open. But we're not passing it down, and
we're not passing it down because we gave it away, bro. We gave it away with integration. We gave it away. We don't have that conversation. So we're sitting here begging the white man in the white man's school to teach us about our history. Only fools do that. You don't hear any other ethnic group do that. But black people, we gave it away. We wanted to go to the white schools. We wanted to be close to Johnny and Jane because that made us feel better. So we left the black schools. When the reality is, if you check the data at that time, the black schools was performing either the same or better with less.
And that was the problem.
No. That wasn't the problem. The problem was we wanted to go where the white people were going.
Yeah.
We were getting spit on to go sit with white folks. We were getting our head knocked off to have ice cream with white people.
Well, he wasn't giving us access to any type of funding.
We didn't have to. No.
We didn't have there's traditional black schools that were doing better.
Listen. I'm writing a book now. We had everything back then. We had banks. We were financing ourselves. We were doing everything. And that is facts. We had our own hotels. We had everything. Yes, we was facing racism, but we had our own economy.
Because we had to do it. We were forced to do it because we couldn't go over there, but we were sustaining ourselves. Black Wall Street and all of those places, they were sustaining themselves.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
We had it. We had the banks. We were financing projects. We were building towns. We did it. But someone convinced us that it was better to go with white folks. So what happened? All those businesses started closing down because we thought that the white man's hotel pillows were fluffier, his ice cream was better, his steaks taste better, right? We stopped buying from the black meat market. We wanted to go to the white meat market. We did it to ourselves.
You heard what Hafiz said. Remember when Hafiz was on the show?
Mm-hmm.
We're the only group of people like this. He said the easiest way to get the black person's money is tell them I don't want it. Your money's no good here. We will bust our butt to be like, my money's just as good as the white. You're going to take my money.
And I said that. I saw a video with old dumbass Jim Jones, right? The girl in the Gucci shop. Whatever she said to him, right? And he's gonna force his money in the shop. I said that you're an idiot.
Yes,
you are making their bottom line. You ain't hurting them.
At least go to another Gucci store where you're going to get respect when you spend your money. We want to force ourselves onto white people to prove that we are the same as them, and that has been a detrimental mistake that black people have done since 1965. And we don't want to face it because we're comfortable with the white man stuff. And I'm not saying, and look, and this doesn't have anything to do with being racist or no, this is just self-respect. That's all I'm saying is self-respect. We did it, and we got fooled by people that look like us. It wasn't the white man's fault, it was our fault. You know what I'm saying? So
there was black people I've seen that are telling kids that they better off going to Harvard than Howard. You know what I'm saying? Like they're pushing that agenda. They're definitely it's always in every situation to beat us. The enemy uses us against each other. I mean, you can use yourself. You can create a situation where your enemy kills each other, and you can sit back and wait and just clean up the mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they and we keep falling for this. Shout to Sean Montgomery. And we keep falling for this over and over and over. We keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. That's the dangerous thing that's another danger, Larnez, about not knowing the history. And that's what the young boy was taught in the movie. You're destined to repeat it, and you're destined because you don't know it. So you fall for the same things that your forefathers fell for and your elders fell for because you don't know it. You didn't see what
it's deeper than that. Because
it is deeper.
Do you know the flea theory? The fleas in a jar? No?
Break it down.
So basically, they did an experiment with fleas. They put a fleas in a jar. They let the top open, and they were trying to get out. They were continuously trying to get out. Now, they took another jar, same fleas. They put a top for maybe 3 or 4 days. I don't know the exact period of time they had the top on, but the top made them stop jumping to get out, to try to get free. So when they removed the top after 4 days,
they stopped trying to jump.
Out, right? Yeah. It's deeper than this. It's our circumstances. It's deeper than this, right? Yeah. Our children are overwhelmed from the content. When we were growing up, we didn't have this access. So all of these things happening all over the world. Growing up, children are not supposed to have access to all of these things going around all over the world. So now when your kids are outside and they want to wear their hoodies and you're like, take that hoodie off, you inside. They want to socialize, but they also want to hide themselves from the community because that's what they do with the phones, right? I'm cloaked when I'm looking at social media. I believe you can't see what I see, and it impacts me every day.
No, listen, social media, that's a whole show, right? To really talk about the effects of social media, not just on young girls, but on grown ass women. Like I'm looking at social media. I was like, yo, y'all sisters turning this shit into soft porn. What the hell's going on up in here?
I said that during COVID. I was like, man, do you see the internet during COVID? I was just like, yo, it was ridiculous. I was like, yo.
Listen, these women, some of these women just lost their mind. I'm like, why?
Some of it ain't soft porn. Some of it's almost outright porn.
It's insane. So just to change, so we're in a military operation right now, and I got some theories that I'm going to get deeper in a special show, but I got some theories what's going on. But and people that don't know, we're in a military operation. I'm just going to give a minute of the president's speech. Then we're going to go into the geopolitical ramifications around this operation that we have here, or war, whatever y'all want to call it. Is this live?
Yes, we are live.
Yes, we are live. Yes, we are live. Okay, yeah. So it's just a little bit. I'm just going to give a little bit so we can just get it.
The military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries.
Oh, okay. Hey, how did that happen? So from this, if everybody's watching the news, right? The Ayatollah Khomeini has been killed.
Bases in the region in response to earlier attacks. The strikes mark a significant escalation in tensions between Iran, the United States, and Israel, and come amid ongoing discussions over Iran's nuclear program. Well, Iranian state TV read out a statement from the country's Supreme National Security Council announcing the Ayatollah Khomeini's assassination.
Now, here's the deal. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It wasn't doing that before. Well, anyway, so look, personally, I ain't never have no love for the Ayatollah Khomeini. I didn't like the type of religious dogma that he put forth, or the Ayatollah, or how you have one spiritual man running the military to this and that. So, but that's here nor there. I'm trying to let people know that this was planned last year. This was planned last year when Trump went out, he did his Middle East tour. They all knew about it. And this is why now, who came out? Saudi Arabia, the United Kingdom, and Canada. They're changing the geopolitical standard in the Middle East. Yes. Let's make no mistake. I'm going to say this right now. A lot of people are saying, well, if Kamala was president, we wouldn't be at war. Yes, we would have. Because our foreign policy is Israel's foreign policy. America does not have a foreign policy for itself. It's around Israel. It is around Israel. We would have still been at war with Iran. Make no mistakes. Make no mistakes about it. The only difference is Trump is trying to save face. He's trying to save face. So we have to understand that. Whether you Democrat or Republican, we have had whole year conversation about AIPAC and the influence of AIPAC and all this. We have you look. Show me someone that's saying that Israel doesn't have a right to do that. The only thing they're talking about is claiming that Trump violated the Constitution. Not one politician, not even George Lattimore. He just put out a statement. Right? But right, rarely changes regardless who are in power. Absolutely. Absolutely. This should have happened 47 years ago when the first Ayatollah took. Well, yeah. But this is Israel's policy. And listen, when Trump, see, people, we get caught up with other stuff. We don't even see what's going on. When he came back, Saudi Arabia, UAE, all bought in to the United States. Whether they bought military weapons, they were in. Billions of dollars of military weapons. What do you need military weapons for? Oh, you need it for this. Oh, that's why. And they said, oh, this is the first time Saudi Arabia bought all these weapons from the United States. Yeah, because they knew this was coming. They knew this was coming. I think we really need to wake up to the politics of the world and what's going on. And guess what? None of them are going to condemn. They're going to condemn Trump. Correctional Black Caucus, all them. They're not going to condemn Israel or Netanyahu. Why? Because they all get money from them.
Mm-hmm.
They all get money from them. And the average person is being played in our emotions, where all this is scripted from the left and from the left and from the right. Y'all can make comments. I said what I had to say.
Well, this engagement is heavy everywhere, right? Because we gonna feel it. Oil prices, energy, food, shipping, everything, right? I know I'm middle class. We the people that feel it first, right? Even if you see what's going on in Cuba right now, there's a war in Cuba also. It's several parts of the world that are fighting, right? Fighting to live, fighting to survive. There's no oil going to Cuba right now. None.
There's no oil going to Cuba?
No oil. And their refineries, something happened at the refineries. They destroyed how they process the oil. So even if they got oil, they cannot process the oil.
Wow.
It's chaos everywhere. It's so much chaos going on in the world. It's like, what war do we pay attention to first?
Exactly. I mean, look, we're living in the times, right? And it was always predicted that even the end of the world war will be around Israel. You know? And they control our foreign policy. And whether people like it or not, and I say it, I believe, my opinion, Damon K. Jones, one of the Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated because he spoke out against the LGBTQ. Charlie Kirk was assassinated because he had an organization that spent $1.3 billion in elections, and he was against working with Israel.
Mm.
See, we get caught. We're so quick to get caught on race. We don't look at power. We forget about power. You understand? So we got to start looking at how the power structure is.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if we was focusing on power, we would have some.
We don't know what true power is.
Because we don't use, we haven't listened. We haven't listened to Marcus Garvey. We haven't listened to Elijah Muhammad. We haven't listened to Carter G. Woodson. We haven't listened to Dr. Amos Wilson, who wrote damn near gave you a manual, the blueprint for black power, the whole goddamn book.
Mm.
Powernomics, we ain't listening to Dr. Claude Anderson. We don't want power. We want to be where we're at today. Now, they also said that the president, because we have to separate emotions from what the actual law is. And we had that conversation, Larnez, at the NAACP meeting, right? Everybody got hot, but no, let's just talk about the law. Let's not talk about constapos and all this other crazy stuff that they were saying that had nothing to do with the law.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump is not violating the Constitution. According to here's the deal. According to the War Powers Resolution, he has 48 hours after that press conference that we showed to notify Congress. Now Trump has 60 days. As long as Trump doesn't put boots on the ground, as long as everything is in the air, he has 60 days. Now, within those 60 days, if Congress doesn't authorize it within 60 days, the president must withdraw. But then
with a 30-day extension for withdrawal, so it's not that day.
Exactly. Now, has any other presidents done that? Oh my God! This is a travesty of the Constitution. This is a travesty. Oh no, this dude did it. He did it. He did it. He wasn't afraid to use drones. He was big on drones. See, we gotta get rid of the emotions and let's just talk facts. Because when you have people saying that he's violating the Constitution when technically he's not, and they're acting like this never happened before, but nobody said anything about Obama. He was all over the place. Libya, Iraq, Syria, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, Afghanistan. Obama was doing work. He was doing work. So how do we, so these are the things we really need to talk about and be honest about. Because educated people are really saying things that's wrong and leading people the wrong way. And we know we have so much mental illness going on It could just set somebody off to do something stupid. And you know what? And it's sad. Even that George Lattimore posted that. And y'all are Congress people. Y'all are supposed to be the protectors of the law. But you're misquoting the law for your own personal reasons.
I mean, it was the comment that a lot of the people talking about the Constitution don't know the Constitution. We can just look locally. Remember all the times, Damon, we used to always go to the city council meeting, and everybody used to be like, the city charter says this, the city charter. None of the people even knew what the city charter. Like, I had a printout of the city charter, Larnez, and I literally would be sitting in there, and people would say, I'd be like, that's not what it says. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about just the people, some of our city council members. I was like, that's not how it says it. I mean, you got part of it right, but you done messed up the other part. Like, and I used to sit there and do that every time they would talk about the charter. People don't know because we don't read these things.
You know, I ask people all the time, did you read the bill? Did you read the bill? Right? The SAVE Act bill, when it comes to the voting thing, did you read the bill? So technically, the act is just reversing the process. Like, we don't even know that when you register to vote now, that there is a process to make sure that you are a citizen. But it's after the fact that you register. The bill is reversing the process that you have to, before you register, you have to prove that you're a citizen. That's all the bill is doing. That's all it's doing. It's not taking away anybody's rights. If you got, look, my mother was born in 1935. She's the youngest of 9 children. The only one that's left is her brother, and he's a retired sheriff. Clearly, he had his birth certificate. My mother had a birth certificate. She had a passport. She had her driver's license. It's not hard for Black people to get what they get. I couldn't find my birth certificate. I just went online and purchased it. And I'm waiting for it in the mail. But I also have a passport. So why do they make Black people feel like we're incompetent to get a goddamn ID? And they want to say it's Jim Crow 2.0 or poll tax. We're smart enough to get IDs. We can do it. And, you know, we could do it. But see, that's the pandering that a lot of, I'm not saying all white liberals, but a lot of white liberals do when it comes to Black people. Like, we're stupid.
Some of us just don't want to be a part of the system.
Yeah, right. Like Gavin Newsom. Let me bring, like Gavin Newsom.
Press upon you, I'm like you. I'm no better than you.
Oh, where's the video?
I'm a 960 SAT guy. And, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me.
Oh, stop. That's what I don't like. Ha, 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 ha. Hell no. He the mayor of Atlanta. I said, excuse me, sir. Black folks got higher IQs, SAT scores than that here in Atlanta. I have to disagree. But no, he ain't stop him.
Read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
When we fight for democracy, when we protect democracy, we got to fight fire with fire. We're not going to stand idly by, as Maya said. We're not going to let them revert to Jim Crow. And if you don't think they want to revert to Jim Crow, just look what they did in the SAVE Act, which went back to took Jim Crow for the whole nation. By so making it hard, they said you need ID, and they made it so hard to show ID that probably half the people in America couldn't vote.
Because right now we have, you know, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because
it's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I will.
Really? And this is the conversations that they have about black people.
No, I did the story about the computers in the Bronx. I did
but when does it stop? When does it stop?
Because I got hot sauce on my purse.
Yeah. When does it when does the pandering stop? And when do black people tell them to stop? And they think just because they will label something racist that we will get upset about it and get in our feelings.
Well, silence is speaking volumes too, because you're also teaching them how to deal with you and handle you. So if you're comfortable with that handle, you're not going to say nothing, because you know your livelihood or how you appear to society is more important than your integrity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sooner or later, it has to change.
But that person, it's not our job to make sure it changes. You could do that with the people that you have contact with. You're not going to talk to me like that.
Exactly.
I'm not. I can't understand what you're saying when you drop that F-bomb, right? If that sentence was really secure with that F-bomb, but I really can't understand it, right? Unless you step up and stand out and say something. People are not motivated to try to shift the circumstances you're in because you feel like that's normal. That's how he talk. Or even at work. Girl, it's okay. That's just how he is. Take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
I can't swallow that.
Right.
I used to tell him after a while, y'all talking about that's just the way he is, and we supposed to make excuses. Y'all need to start making some excuses on what I'm about to do. Because I'm going to tell you, oh, that's just the way he is. Because I'm like, yo, this ain't going to be the way it is. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the case.
The solution to change your destiny, would you recognize it or would you overlook it?
God's the solution to change your destiny.
Well, if you talking personally, or you talking, or I don't know, are you talking in the group? Because clearly, we black people in America has had so many prophets, and only certain groups of people listen to certain group of prophets.
Well, when you say solution, what do you mean? Giving it to us as an idea in our head, or giving us a solution in a person? Because I'm not sure what.
I'm not sure what you're saying here.
I'm not sure if what you answered was what they were saying.
That's why I answered it that way, right? And in many different times in our sojourn here in America, we have think about it. Think about it. Look at all the people that God sent us.
Look at all the people that God's continuously sending us.
Well, right.
That we're not paying attention to. Because I was at the Black Caucus with you, right? I heard nothing about a plan on how we gonna come together and push each other forward. Nothing.
No.
And I thought that's what I was gonna get, because it was my first time. I thought I was gonna get to sit down.
I could have told you that. I could have told you that before you left Malcolm. You wasn't going to get that up there. And I love all them brothers and sisters up there. But then no agenda comes out of that. What we gonna do now?
Unbeknownst to me, I was
there. They were sitting there treating Mamdani like he was Jesus, and then the next Monday he want to raise taxes on black homeowners, and then they got to respond like
Every
this.
debate
Right?
where you engage, we opened our ears to listen. Now today, accept the words echoing from us now. Do your job as mayor and leave our taxes out.
To close a $5.4 billion budget gap, the mayor says he has two options: convince Governor Hochul to tax the wealthy, which he refuses to do, or raise the city property tax rate by 9.5%.
Giving only two options. You're saying if we don't tax the rich, then I got to increase property taxes.
So, but wait a minute. Then he goes down to President Trump. Yo, dude, this is the most let me tell you, Mamdani is one of the sneakiest, sliveriest politicians we will ever see. He reminds me of Richard Thomas, right? But because he went down with Trump. Now, what happened? If any other black person mentions anything that disagrees with the norm of what these New York Democrats is doing, they call us MAGA. Oh, we selling out to the Republicans. We doing, but what about this dude? He's the face of democratic socialism. He's down with Trump trying to get money to build.
So let me ask you a question. So isn't leadership about negotiation?
No, leadership is about negotiations. But that's not what they do when people say when people say, hey man, we gotta work across the aisle.
Wait, stop. So leave, run, I don't know. I'm not sure what it is that you're pushing, but this ain't the time to push it. If you want to send us an email.
No, don't worry about it.
No, I'm just saying this ain't the time to push it.
No. Well, they're gone.
I wasn't gonna get rid of them. I was just telling them you're not gonna push it. You're not gonna be pushing it.
No, you ain't. No, you're not selling anything on our timeline.
Like me, I understand what the optics look like, right? But what was the outcome of this specific meeting, right?
I think personally, they really didn't let out an outcome because Trump didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. I think this was to steer the conversation away from the black homeowners. That's my personal opinion. Because now nobody's talking about what the black homeowners are saying. Nobody's talking about him having to raise property taxes 9%.
And Kathy ain't raising the taxes on the wealthy because she's running.
Right.
Why would she do that?
Exactly.
So what is the next course of action? In your statement, you said you're gonna raise the taxes.
Right.
You wasn't gonna buckle down.
And you really think Trump is gonna help you build some apartments in a sanctuary city and ain't gonna be strings attached? You're crazy. But see, you see these daily news things? He brought that to Trump. See how sly he is? Because he's playing into Trump's ego.
Who's Ford?
President Ford. That's a real cover.
Those are old daily newspapers.
Right,
that
those are old daily news.
on a
That's
cover.
a real cover. Something that had Ford did with New York. Says Ford to the city dropped dead. That's a real cover. So what Mamdani did was make this cover to build on Trump's ego. Trump the city, let's build back new era housing.
Well, wasn't his mama there with Trump and Epstein? So he probably asked his mama for some tips.
Well, look, listen.
Wait, whose mother?
Oh, you didn't know?
Mamdani.
Mamdani's mother rocked with Epstein. Mm-hmm. They have pictures with Mamdani.
They do.
As a boy. They have pictures with Mamdani as a boy with Epstein.
They do.
His mother.
They do. He probably asked his mama for them tips. Mommy, give me the old article.
He asked his
Made it
mother.
frame.
Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, I'm not saying facts. We just having conversations, in my opinion. His mama said that. Look, his mama set that meeting up.
Yep. That's what it looked like. Mama Love told me, he better blame it on mama. Because the optics might be different.
Exactly. But they never did an interview like the first meeting that they met. They never did that. Never answered any questions. Mm-hmm. That picture was from Mamdani's social media page. Mm-hmm. From Mamdani's social media page. And as far as Trump, ain't nothing going to happen to Trump with the Epstein shit.
I'm just saying Trump looked real happy in this picture. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, because no. See, think about it. Think about it. That's how you play a person's Trump's ego. He's playing Trump's ego. He's playing Trump's ego. This dude is the most dangerous politician at his age. He's dangerous. I'm telling you right now, I've seen it before. He is dangerous. That dude right there is dangerous. He done flipped on a dime and I'm sitting down with Trump. But ain't nobody, but nobody's criticizing him. Nobody's calling him MAGA. If you just go on social media and just talk about policy, oh my God, no, you can't. Well, what? This is your leader. This is your democratic socialist leader. That's why it's a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Where's the comments about this? Shit, I post an article about Trump on how his policies affect Black America, and I'm a fucking Republican. But nobody's saying this. I was told by a Black woman, I said, hey, listen, if Trump wanted to give Black people reparations, would you meet with him? I wouldn't meet with Trump. Even for reparations? Oh, but what about your savior? He's trying to get housing for migrants. He ain't trying to get housing for Black folks.
So I want to adjust the whole thing. The one part of the meeting Trump part. This is we're at a point where one side refuses to meet the other side. You can't get things done. Like, Christie got criticized when he met with Obama after the Sandy storm, whatever storm, because he needed Obama's help to rebuild Atlantic City and all of that stuff. You have to meet with the person in charge that has the purse strings. You don't have to like them. You don't have to like them.
Nobody says that.
Yeah.
Nobody. No, I'm not saying that. I understand how politics work.
I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying the people that complain about, because they complain about anybody who meets with the president.
No, but nobody. My point is nobody's complaining. That's my point. Nobody says anything. No, these Negroes now is justifying the meeting. You fucking hypocrites. You're justifying the meeting. So if Trump is good enough for Mamdani to meet, so why isn't his policies good enough? Why is it the Trump account for kids good enough? They don't even talk about it. That's the sad part about it. They don't even have the conversation that from January 1st for the next 3 years, any woman that has a child can sign up, get $1,000 in a child's 401k, and you're able to put $5,000 a month in until they're 18. That's building generational wealth. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about the RX website that they put up that you could get cheaper drugs and medication. Nobody's talking about that. Why? Because it came from Trump. And black women will benefit better than white women because black women have more babies than white women. But ain't nobody talking about it.
Well, white women go to the doctor more than black women.
Yeah, but I'm saying with the kids account, we have more babies.
No, we do. We definitely do.
So why we ain't talking about it? So instead of these women paying, or these families paying $20,000 for a goddamn birthday party for a 3-year-old, put 15 up, put the 5 of it in the goddamn Trump account each year. By the time the kid is 28, they'll have $1 million goddamn dollars. It's a 401k. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? But it's okay.
It'll take 28 years to amass $1 million.
Yeah, depending on if you maxing out. If some people only put in $1,000, yeah, it would take about 28 years. It's long term. Those accounts are long term.
Well, no, I got it. I just was clear on the number in the account.
Because you're not because I don't think they will put in anything aggressive. I think it'd just be stable. It'll just be stable. The regular maybe 5, 6, 7% each year. Single father with 2 kids in my house right now. I'm going to get the Trump account. Absolutely. I told my daughter to get it. If they get $500, my daughter's 5 years old. They get $500, but then you could put up to $5,000 each year in it. Like, don't we need that? Don't black folks need no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, and no taxes on Social Security? Don't we need that? Like they acting like black people don't need that shit. They act like we don't need it. They act like we don't need to have the right business deductions so we could deduct all this shit we doing online. They act like we don't need that shit. But they're not even having the conversation about it. And that's the sad thing about it.
But are they not having a conversation because they don't know how to share the information, or are we not having a conversation?
It has to do with Trump because of the messenger.
So for 2026, federal taxes on Social Security benefits are not fully eliminated, but the new temporary deduction allows eligible seniors 65 and over to deduct up to $6,000 from their taxable income, reducing the tax burden. This applies to single filers with AGA under 75 or couples under 150. Social Security taxes will still apply to the recipients.
Yeah, but they get right. But it's on the back end.
It's a tax. You're able to deduct. I would just the terminology. You're able to deduct $6,000 from your taxable income, which means you'll be taxed lower.
Yeah, but the relief for the seniors. My question is, how is the Social Security trust fund being replenished if these tax cuts are given out?
Well, I mean, those are federal taxes, right? Those are you just get more money back. See, here's the problem with black folks. We are consumers. We are consumer minded.
That's true.
Right? If we have to be technically, if you're producer minded, you take some of that money and you invest it and you put it in something that you get something money back. Right? That's what you have to do. instead of going out there and you spending it. So at the end of the day, if they're able to deduct $6,000, ain't nothing wrong with that. You still getting some money back. Like
less money is coming out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. You get it back at the end. You claim it.
No, you're able to deduct $6,000 from your taxable income. So you're paying taxes on $6,000 less than you would.
Right. So you still get more. You're going to get more money back because you have lower tax. You're charged at the lower, even with the overtime, right? But at the end of the day, if it's a good idea, expand it. Hey man, let's work on expanding this so the seniors can get more money back. Let's work on expanding this so
So the no tax on overtime discussion is cap, because they cap it at 10,000. So corrections live off of overtime. So now if my overtime, if I was making, for instance, 60,000 and then I made 150,000 because of my overtime, this no tax on overtime don't pertain to the working class. So it's a facade. So
no.
How is it not?
No,
it's a cap, 10,000.
Right, but then you send your elected official to go raise the motherfucker. Because all bills start out, all right, let's just do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, more people saying, yo, this shit is dope. I got a little more money back. Hey, George Lattimore, fuck that. I want you to raise that motherfucking shit to 75,000. Right? Because it's only for 3 years. As I don't know why politicians do shit like that, but they always, sunset on the shit, right?
Because if the laws don't change and he don't circumvent the system, he's not going to be president after. He only had 3 more years. He had 3 more years left in his term when he did it.
But it ain't up to him. It's up to us.
No. I'm saying, but that's why it was.
Right. It's up to us. We should be having we should be having that conversation. Say, hey man, we got $10,000 back. Listen, I want y'all to raise that motherfucker to 75 for the benefit of all civil service workers. But we're not even having.
Who are they supposed to love? Civil service work. They're supposed to be behind.
They don't love us. We a number. They don't love us.
They're supposed to be. That's what they tell your union members at the union meeting when they want your vote.
That's a lie. That is a lie. They hardly want to fight for you.
So look at all these things that, whether it's a grand scale or a small scale, benefits the average person, but the people that claim that they fight for the average person are not having the conversation about it. Right? We're told that it's hurting us. No, look, at the end of the day, if it put $3,000 more in your motherfucking pocket, then it helped you.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it kept you from owing. Because I know a lot of people, I don't know what accounting they go to. They owe every year. I don't know what they do.
Every year I owe. It don't matter where I go. Every year I owe.
I don't know how that happens.
Every year I owe.
But that's my point.
And I'm paying for college. And I still owe.
This year you might not owe. Right? So that's the whole conversation. We don't have conversations about we done got so we should take a lesson from Zoran Mandami. Work across the aisle. Get what you need to get.
It's easy to say, right? But it's hard to actually do.
Why?
Because it is, right?
No, it's hard to do it after you done ran your mouth.
No, it's hard to do it because of the optics. Because I'm even though I'm here to do a job, right? If I come and speak to you, I have to combat everything, kind of like Mamdani when they should have been talking about him going to take the picture with Trump or going to have a meeting with Trump.
They didn't talk about him. No,
that's what I'm saying. They didn't talk about him. That's what I'm saying. But locally, that's what they do. Locally, matter of fact, if I see you talking to somebody's going to run and tell that, hey, you know who I saw having breakfast?
Listen, you are voted. When I got into politics, everybody worked across it wasn't just so crazy. Everybody worked across the aisle for the benefit of the other people that they was representing. Now it's just so polarized and it's crazy. Oh, well, you can't work with that person because they're an independent, or you can't work with it, they're a conservative, or they're this and they're that. Like, come on, like you supposed to be working across the aisle. But my problem is it's okay for Mamdani. Ain't nobody saying a goddamn thing. Nobody said. I had this little white fool on my thing defending him. Wait a minute, how are you defending him? Meeting with Trump? It doesn't. How are you defending that? Y'all done told me Trump was bad. Trump was a racist. Trump was a pedophile. Trump was this. Trump was that. Trump was this. Trump was that. Mamdani first shocked the world when he went and met with him. Now, this time he met with him in private. They didn't even let out what they talked about. Only about some goddamn housing. But I really think that move was to getting people from talking about them black homeowners ready to put a foot in his behind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a publicity stunt. Trump fell for it because he played to his ego. He played to his ego. Mamdani's a slick dude. Better watch out, NYC, because he got a lot of other tricks. He gonna pull on y'all. Trying to tell you right now. And we have to call out the political pandering. We talked about it, AJ. I don't know what black folks gonna do. And New York, we gonna have a problem.
You know what? I'm sorry. Saying that he reminds you of Richard Thomas is giving Richard Thomas too much credit. I'm sorry. I sat on that for a while. I really did. I sat on that for a while. No disrespect, but I think you're giving Richard Thomas too much credit. When you
no, listen. He does remind me of Richard Thomas. I'm still gonna stick to that.
What? Spezio's telling them what to do?
No.
Oh,
if Richard Thomas didn't have Spezio.
Oh, okay. You had to add that part for me.
Yeah. I mean, he remind because he's just all over the place. He's slick.
So Richard Thomas, what his gift was, so Larnez, he would talk to you, right, and you would put all the things that you were concerned about, addressing it, and when he speaks in an hour, he would regurgitate it in a way that you was like, he hears me, he sees me. And then you would be a supporter. Mm-hmm. And he did that with everybody he met that had any kind of influence. Because he did that with me. He actually got me. He actually got me in that first one. I was like, God, okay, he's paying attention a little bit. You know what I mean? I got it. Then I heard another. See, the bad thing is I was running with him doing the social media. So then I went to the next thing, and when I heard, wait, hold up. That's not what you said yesterday. But that was his gift, though, and that's how he connected with people. Because he would have you really feeling. He would hear what you say and find a way to to put it into his speech, and the people that felt like you would be like, oh man, I ain't hear nobody talking like that. Then he would talk to Damon, and Damon would talk to him about law enforcement, and he would talk about all this law enforcement stuff like he was an expert on it. When he had a debate, he was looking at his phone waiting for Damon to send him the answer. About law enforcement. But anyway, enough of him. But I'm just saying, You know, this ain't a beat up rich conversation.
No, not yet. Let him announce he's running for mayor. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. I'm telling you, bro. Once I hear it, I'm gonna let you have it. Already got my stuff. Already got the stuff waiting for you in the folder. Already got it. Already got it.
I like Richard Thomas, but I can see right through him. I've been a door-to-door salesman for over 23 years. This conversation is based on a 5-step system: introduction, short story, presentation, close, rehash.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah, that sums it up. Sums it up, man. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Now, you know, I want to talk about this because I did an article on Black Westchester, and it has nothing. I have nothing against Grace Baptist Church. I think they have a long history in the community. I've known Reverend Richardson on a personal level, but from the city's perspective, I don't think the city of Mount Vernon needs any more low-income housing.
I got a call from yesterday. I got a call about that.
What?
Somebody very upset about that property next to his is going to be that building and what it's supposed to be. And
then the people have to come out. I mean, it's up to the people of Mount Vernon. Like they have to come out, right? So they need to show up to the next city council meeting and they need to voice their opposition to it. Because at the end of the day, those people sitting there at the Mount Vernon City Council are elected by the people, not by a church. So let's make that clear. And we have to start thinking different in Black communities and start building for ownership and stop building for renting, especially Mount Vernon. And this is not a knock on any low income people that live in. This is not a knock, but when you are dealing with Kathy Hochul putting out $250 million to build 1,800 units for the state, and 900 of them are in Mount Vernon, we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest problems is, one of Mount Vernon's biggest problems is we can't attract real business to come here. And you are not attracting any real business to a community that has that's full of affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not attracting the big businesses that you need to for your city to sustain. And the drain when you have to raise, you're talking about raising taxes. When you have to raise taxes, it then falls solely on the homeowners that you're raising their taxes, because you're not bringing any taxable income and realistic taxable income from business. You really need more business. And until you do what needs to be done, Mount Vernon is never going to attract. That's why you have Dave and Buster opening just across the border in Pelham Manor, where they can get all the Mount Vernon money without a Mount Vernon zip code. You understand what I'm saying? They got a Mount Vernon. They don't have a Mount. They're just on that bridge. That bridge just before the Dave and Buster is the borderline between Mount Vernon and Pelham Manor. You can walk from certain parts of Mount Vernon to Dave and Buster. They can get all the Mount Vernon money, but they don't have a Mount Vernon address, and they will never come. Businesses or bigger businesses are not going to come here if you then start filling it more and more with affordable housing. You look where all the big businesses and stuff, you look at the communities around them and the areas that they're in, and you need one or two to come, and then all the rest of them come because they're there. You're not going to get those anchors, those one or two to come here. You're never going to happen. And then we lost like one of the better supermarkets we had in Stop and Shop, and we got a floor and decor. I mean, I'm sure that's a good store, but that doesn't satisfy the South Side. If that doesn't, in a food desert area, their fruits and vegetables was really, really fresh and good in Stop and Shop. Like, I really miss that store. I'm gonna be honest, especially I'm eating a little healthier now. I could walk there from where I live, like where I'm going now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you just, and then we replace it with a floor and decor. I don't know how that helps the side of the community. I don't know how that helps the community. And it's business, and hopefully they'll bring some taxable income in here and all that. But, you know, these affordable housing, we do need affordable housing. The problem is, when I was going through some of the applications, I filled out applications for them. They're lotteries. I can't afford to live in affordable housing. So who's it affordable for? Like, they make it to a point where if you make a certain amount, you have to do something. You can't do it. You have to like make so little that you have to have some kind of subsidies and stuff coming in. You have to be getting some kind of assistance to get in there. If you're working class, you make too much.
So my thing is, I don't mind affordable housing, right? But it should be an equal balance of allocated money into ownership programs, right?
Absolutely.
If you want to put this building here, tell me how much you're going to allocate to ownership. Are you trying to have people with ownership, or are you just trying to create stakeholders? Like, what is it? What are you trying to do? Is it equity growth for the community, right? Or you just want a bunch of renters? Mortgages builds equity. Mortgages build wealth.
Exactly.
Rent does it.
Exactly. So here's the thing. You know, that's the problem with Mount Vernon. They used to be called the city of homes. Now they're the city of renters. And they give these developers these pilot programs where they get tax abatements and discounts, and they're not paying all the taxes, and then they fill the schools. You know, I should have uploaded the whole video so people can watch. Like, I was very disappointed in the city council in their response to this. That, oh, well, we need more kids in the school system. No, you need more families paying taxes.
Wait. You need more kids in the school system. You're going to put all this affordable housing that's going to bring all these kids after you just close 3 schools. Where are they going to?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, where are the kids going to? Like, kids in the school's going to be overcrowded because you just closed 3 schools.
No, well, first of all, most of the tax-paying people are not even sending their kids to the Mount Vernon school system. That's why the school population is low, because they're sending their kids to either private schools or charter schools.
If you put low-income housing, they're not paying for private schools.
No, and that's why the school system has turned into a special ed school system. When you talk to the teachers, that's why kids are setting fires and acting a fool, because these kids that are left in the school system, they got a lot of issues. When you have buildings that you bring in people from the 5 boroughs, the people from Mount Vernon, those who need apartments, they are not benefiting from it. I really don't understand. I really don't understand how they don't see it. And it's all and it's in their face. The outcomes of these buildings are in their face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get it. And then for one of the pastors talking about, well, we're gonna have to march. Bruh, you should have been marching a long time ago for the condition of the damn city. And the fact it's just a bunch of dysfunction. And I don't even know how you're going to build a low income apartment next to a church that the membership are not low income. But the way I don't even, that's the best way I could say it. Your membership ain't low income. Why are you building a low income building?
And most of them don't live in Mount Vernon.
Exactly.
But actually, low income to who? Because just like AJ said, low income can't even qualify.
Well, the average worker, like a teacher, couldn't qualify
because they make too much.
I know. I'm talking about me.
Yeah,
I always make too much.
Right.
Right. And even if I give you my base salary, right?
But
we don't go by base because you're overtime.
See, teachers of those are the ones that should qualify for co-ops, build co-ops, build equity, so they can pay taxes. And then they have an investment in the property and the community.
Or working on these foreclosed houses, helping them programs to help them become homeowners. And we there's a number about to come out. Since he didn't release the number, I'm not going to release it yet. But within the next week or so, all these houses are going in foreclosure. The number's coming out. The list is coming out. You'll see it on Black Westchester. It's going to be a major foreclosure. All these houses are going into foreclosure.
Well, AJ, factual, right? Property taxes are rising. Insurance is rising. Maintenance costs are rising. Homeowners are being pressured to pay taxes, right? Why is the political narrative exclusively, and it seems like everywhere in New York, renter focused?
Because that's how they keep people wanting the crack, wanting the free shit. They keep you dependent. See, whether we like it or not, Democratic policy nowadays is dependency. Republican policies are get your shit. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. All this dependency shit does not make a community. We have to talk about ownership. Whether it's a co-op, whether it's a condo, whether it's a house, whether it's a mansion, whatever level of income, you have to talk about ownership. Ownership is the only thing that's going to change these Black communities around. But when you discuss with these goddamn Democrats, and I hate to say it, if they talk about we just need low income renters. No. Mount Vernon has enough. It has enough. When we talk about Mount Vernon has enough. It's only 4x4 square miles. And there's enough.
And that's been the math for a while, because when the HUD situation with Estorino in New York and Westchester was supposed to do so much affordable housing, but it was supposed to be in all the communities. When he added up the numbers with what Mount Vernon had, we were over the amount, the necessary amount, but it was Mount Vernon though. It wasn't. Right. So he was telling her, I did what I was supposed to do. No, it was supposed to be a little bit in every community, but Chappaqua pushed back and all the other neighborhoods pushed back. No. And you're not putting it here. You're not putting it here.
Well, they couldn't put it there. And this is one of the things that one of the city council president said, that low income housing increases property value. That is a lie.
Low income affordable. You mean buildings, renting in buildings for increases?
Yeah, affordable housing increases property value. That's a lie.
How?
I don't know, but that's what he said, and it's on video.
You got to tell me offline who that is. I don't remember who that is.
And I put in the comment, y'all can watch the last city council meeting.
Oh, okay.
I put in the comment, if that is the case, then why does the white neighborhoods in Westchester have it in their city charter not to build multifamily units? Because they are protecting their property value. That's why they do it. And that's why Astorino couldn't do anything with Chappaqua and all the other white neighborhoods, because they had it in their city charter that you couldn't build in there. And I didn't know that if it wasn't for Dr. Cavallo that told me. He said, check that city charters. And I was like, yo, he's right. They in the city charters. But that's the whole thing. You know, when Astorino started pushing back on the building, he was like, I can't force the white neighborhoods to build because it's their city charter. So guess where they went back building? Mount Vernon. Stable housing at various price points. But are you talking about? I once saw housing statistics indicated probably that 67% of single family residents in Mount Vernon are not owner occupied. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's a city of renters. It went from the city of homes back in the day. Even had it on what was that movie? What was that movie with Lawrence Tate? And they was robbing, they had the mask on.
Dead Presidents?
Dead Presidents. Even in Dead Presidents, they talked about Mount Vernon. Oh, he done got his money. He went up in Mount Vernon and bought a house.
They did. They did.
Oh, he a big shot. He went up in Mount Vernon and bought a house. Up in Mount Vernon. Yeah. But that's what it was known as, right? When you made it big time, you came to Mount Vernon. You got a dope ass house. Now ain't nothing but rentals. You can't build it. You can't generate the funds you need off renters, especially when they're renting out of buildings that are pilots that are not paying their full share in taxes. You can't do it. Part of the problem with Mount Vernon Hospital was what? They wasn't making all money off of Medicaid and Medicare. They needed people with real insurance.
Mm.
They couldn't survive. And then you don't have no programs for your teachers, your firefighters, your DPW workers. Down the street, right from me here, is a complex. Damn near most of that is Mount Vernon DPW. Right up here. They buying homes up here with Mount Vernon money. We're up here with half of Mount Vernon money. Oh, y'all start thinking she pay everything up here. Absolutely not. But still, they wasn't building anything for civil service in Mount Vernon.
And that's my point. Even rehab, you have all these foreclosed homes on the tax bill, on the refixing those and making putting together tax incentives and programs for those people that you named, the civil service workers, the fire. Because you want I'm gonna be honest. I think Andre Wallace, the first time I heard him, one of the first people I heard say it, I want my people that work for DPW to drive over the same potholes I got to drive over every day. You understand what I'm saying? So they understand. So you feel, but if you just working here and you go home, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you don't live here. Like, that's an investment in your city. You have they become homeowners. They become taxpayers. They become stakeholders. They have more vested interest in what goes on in the city. They start showing up because the homeowners are the ones. Homeowners show up to those city council meetings because they complain about their taxes. You know what I'm saying? But we starting to lose more and more homeowners. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a shame, and we're going backwards. We're going backwards, and then Yonkers is just the opposite. They building only luxury buildings, so they pushing all they pour out. Where they coming, Mount Vernon?
Everybody coming Mount Vernon. Everybody, and nobody.
I told the story before. My mother lived in a building in Rochelle, and when she passed, I could have took over her mortgage, her lease. I couldn't afford to. I moved to Mount Vernon because I couldn't afford to live in Rochelle. That's why I moved back to Mount Vernon when I came back. My mother was staying in New Rochelle at the time. David, no, he used to pick me up all the time. I was staying in New Rochelle. I came back to Mount Vernon because I knew I could afford to live in Mount Vernon. I knew I could afford to, I knew, closer to the Bronx border, I could afford to live somewhere over here.
Do you know that
if I had the money, I don't know that I would live here. And I'm from here. I'm born here.
New
I'm
Rochelle
not trying to be funny.
has more black businesses than Mount Vernon?
Would you say what?
New Rochelle has more black businesses than Mount Vernon. New Rochelle is the black business hub of Westchester, not Mount Vernon. Not Mount Vernon. I did a whole article on businesses in Westchester, and I was shocked to find out that New Rochelle had more black businesses than Mount Vernon. I thought it would be Mount Vernon. But see, that's the thing. New Rochelle ain't building low income. New Rochelle is building people that have money that will spend money that people will want to open up businesses in New Rochelle. So it's the whole economic thing that the city of Mount Vernon is missing. Is literally missing. And this ain't against Grace. I have a lot of love for Reverend Richardson, but why don't you put some co-ops up there so people can invest? So the teachers and the firemen and the police officers, they could live in the city.
And that's actually a great location because it's not far from City Hall. It's not far from City Hall, not far from the police department.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we need to be talking about now. Instead of building all this low-income housing in one city. But then then it comes to the politics, right? Because your politicians is backed by political PACs that are paid in full by developers.
He says young professionals too. There was a conversation that they were no disrespect because I'm 60, so I'm aging to that area, but it was all about senior housing, everything senior building.
Yeah, because that's where the money's at.
Young professionals, there was no place for young professionals to move, and they could afford. So they're not. So our young professionals who grew up here and are now making some money live somewhere else now. They don't come back to the city.
Right, because the money. See, we're missing the point. The money ain't in that. The money is getting that $240 million or whatever from Hochul, right? And building some units and getting that money. It's what? No, I'm not talking immigrants. I'm talking Black Americans.
No, he's saying what I got what he's saying. Some of what is listed as black businesses are not Black Americans. You understand what I'm saying? Some of the
no. I get that, but
that's what he was saying.
Right, but I'm talking about my report.
Yeah,
is Black Americans, right? Because I'm trying to keep it 100.
No, but he's saying like in Mount Vernon, a lot of the people, there's a lot of businesses.
Mount Vernon. Oh,
right,
yeah.
that's what we're talking about. Like in Mount, a lot of the black businesses are
not black, are not
American. And don't please don't. Just no kind of way. Like I'm, but I'm just. Listen, we're dealing with what he said, and that.
And he's absolutely right, and that's why probably New Rochelle's numbers is higher, right? But at the end of the day, in order for Mount Vernon to grow, they have to switch to ownership. They can't keep building rental units. I get it. I know that's where the money's at. I know these developers and them people. I know who all of y'all are. All of y'all. And I don't have to call y'all out to let you know I know who you are. But at the end of the day, it has to be switched. And the city council has a fiduciary responsibility for the financial stability of the city. Go ahead, AJ.
Well, two things. One, I know Larnell's got to go to work. I got to Zoom right after this.
Time to go.
It's 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
Any last words? Anybody? Any last words? Any last words?
No, I'm good, man. Just check out blackwestchester.com. It's the news with the black point of view. Check us out. Please go there. Read the articles that we got up. Check out Black Westchester YouTube. There's a couple of videos up there about the war and about the Constitution and some Black History Month videos up there too. So check us out, and we will be we're out of here.
Also,
call them out.
Shout out to Dennis Richmond, who decided to cover the event that I spoke at yesterday and wrote a nice article about me. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's on the front page now. You'll see it. He covered it. He watched the video. He watched the whole video and he covered the whole thing. So watch that. Look at that story. He did actually a good story. So
well, I want to say when you read our articles, like, share, and comment.
Yep.
Share the word. Let us hear about what you want to speak about so we know what we need to cover.
Absolutely.
And shout out to our sister Lanez. Man, you making a lot of people happy because I'm going to less and less of these events because I just can't. And you just be popping up everywhere, and every 5 minutes you be hit me with a story covering some event, and it was event like I just can't be everywhere. I got too much to do. Like I just can't be everywhere. But you are filling in that gap, and you're making a lot of people happy because you've covered their event. So
I'm glad.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm glad.
Because
I'm making somebody happy.
David live in Middletown, and I can't go to everything, and David don't be going to none of this stuff. So
nah, I'd be like, nah, I ain't driving, man.
So you've been picking the last couple of months. You've covered a lot of events that may not have gotten the coverage you gave it, if you weren't there. So I want to acknowledge that. But after that, deuces. This has been.
We're gonna send out an email to the Mount Vernon City Council, man. I think they should come on Black Westchester and let's talk about it.
Absolutely. I think that would be a great conversation.
Yeah, I would love to see that, and y'all need to just come and come and be open and have a conversation and not be like, oh, I don't miss Black Westchester. Oh, I don't want to. No excuse. This is your job. That we speak to the audience. We speak to your voters, and you should come on here to address your voters. And explain some stuff to them, and you'll have and several of y'all know me and have my phone number personally. So you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for y'all not to come on. We just want to address the current. Your controller, he come on all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for you not to come on. Y'all are elected, and we need to talk about the state of the city on the real talk. Y'all say we don't cover Mount Vernon enough. We don't cover the issues. Well, come on the show and bring the issues with you, and let's address the issues.
Yep. And everybody have a blessed one. Stay blessed, stay safe, and most of all, stay blacktastic. We out of here.
Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaign, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, own the plan. Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.